Hey guys, it's M4J here, and welcome back to the Majeffries Network here on OpenTTD. It's actually been over a week since I last recorded an episode, so you'll have to bear with me as I regain my bearings. I think I've recorded 2 episodes between now and the last time I sat down and made an episode. That's why there's been the week and a half off. I'm not doing a very good job of introducing this episode. It's actually been a few days since I last recorded an episode as well, so and that's in all my series. So that might explain why I'm a bit tongue-tied. Anyway, we're here at GSMA. And there's lots of trains coming in, there's lots of trains coming out. I'm going to eventually rebuild this section here as well to match what's going on over here, which could end up meaning moving this line over here and then have it curve under the lot, or have it tunnel under somewhere over here and then curve round. There is gaps. And you might also notice I've extended the approach here. So this is still 5 lines, but this one is now 7 lines. And that's because I noticed, in fact, this whole area here has been rebuilt as well. 1 line in and 1 line out for depot trains and also express trains was not enough, essentially, and it was causing problems. So I've rebuilt New Readington, and this is following an idea that George De Silva asked. Well, I'll read out the comment. Could you do an upgrade program or something similar to the Northern Hub, where you add new platforms to existing stations and new services, or divert existing services elsewhere? Yes, is the answer to that, and I will be doing that over the next few episodes. New Readington was part of that. So the original New Readington station was 2 platforms. It was this one here and this one here. Hopefully I've got the audio synced up so that you can actually see what I'm pointing at, because I'm getting really bad at that lately as well for some reason. We then added a 3rd platform, which was this one here, to allow for services that were joining up with this line down towards Bahecity, Rinston. Rinston? Rinston, yes, good. I am starting to memorize the names. It's not like I chose them or anything. And then, with the addition of the extra platforms at GSMA, the decision was made to add 3 new platforms, this one here, and then there was an island platform that spanned this line that's now a through line and this one here, and then another island platform that spanned the 2 lines which still exist now. But it wasn't enough. Essentially, the number of trains that we had coming through these sets of platforms here wasn't enough to mean we had to have 4 platform faces. Likewise, we had too many trains coming through the through lines here to have just 1 line in and 1 line out. So took me a while to perfect this, and I ended up not rage quitting per se, but I did end up quitting the game a few times and coming back to it on a different day, because it was getting relatively stressful trying to do it all, because sometimes it just didn't want to work, just did not want to work. But anyway, we now have 2 lines in. So this central line here is a bidirectional line, so trains can enter from either side. This line here is one way only, this line here is one way only, and then the same thing happens with these 3 platforms here. The center line is bidirectional, this line is this way only, and this line is this way only. And it seems to have fixed the problem, in that trains do run through here quite nicely. Now I did this bit first, and then there was the issue of there was only 5 bridges here, and again only 1 line was an out. There are now 2 outlines. I think it's this one here, and this one here. The lines that haven't got any trains on, essentially, in the center. I was going to have one that was just in only and have it as this one, but I never needed to do that because the trains ended up sorting themselves out anyway, so for now at least it's not been a problem. But I think it was 3. Was it 3? No, I think it was just 2. These 2 bridges I added here, and I reconfigured all of this, changed the length of the bridges. The next project that I want to do over here is cut from this bridge here down this way back, so that it only just bridges the line here, and then build a new set of junctions with a flyover, so that trains that are just coming straight through and through the center tracks aren't conflicting with trains that might be moving across to head in and out of GSMA. That's a project for way off in the future, and it'll probably be done off camera as well, so you don't hear me shouting and swearing. Today we're not working in Bahecity. We are working over here at Bahecity. I haven't checked the names yet. It's not been 2 weeks yet, so don't panic. It will be 2 weeks, so I'm recording this on the Friday before the Monday that you're watching 2 episodes ago. We're getting very meta here now. So it'll be 2 weeks after that Monday. I will just quickly check the suggestions just to see if there are new ones on there. There probably won't be because I haven't issued the ultimatum to you guys yet. I feel so mean doing that, but have to do it. Otherwise it's a waste of everybody's time. The reason I'm getting really strict on it now is my final year project at university. I've already mentioned this a few times actually, but it's to create a more advanced version of my current website. And a big part of the functionality of that website is the suggestions. Instead of just embedding Google Sheets like I'm sort of doing at the moment, I was planning on just creating an ideas section of the site where all of your ideas get published if you want them to be and things like that. But I'm not going to do that if there's no point, because it's going to be a waste of my time that I could be spending on other parts of the project. And yeah, it's just not worth it. I'm looking, and there's been no new suggestions at all, which is fine, because I say you guys haven't had the ultimatum yet. I'm gonna have to put the spellings of some of these places in as well, because I understand that the spelling is not rudimentary for a lot of these places, which is why there's spelling. Well, I mean, it's not spelling errors. That's a bit harsh for me to say spelling errors. Then I don't think you can have spelling errors on fictional locations, but some of the spelling is a little off, so I will put those in as well. Right. Yes. Today we're over here at Bahecity, and we're working on all of this. We're electrifying it first and foremost, and then we're actually going to build the line down to the south coast and beyond. It will be a time lapse, but I wanted to do a live section here at the start just so you guys get to hear my lovely voice, and also so that I can talk to you about what's happened at GSMA and stuff like that. The service that runs from here, that's an empty train. I had to choose an empty train, didn't I? It's actually working quite nicely. It fits very nicely, and it runs to Munfingford quite nicely as well. I'm going to use the word nicely a lot. I like these trains as well. They're really nice trains. In real life, I don't like the Southern livery. I think it looks a bit ugly, and I really don't like the logo because it looks like an amalgamation of the original Southern Railways and with a modern twist, and it just doesn't really work for me. Plus, I suppose there's the stigma of every time you see the Southern logo, you want to spit on the floor. But hey, I digress. As I say though, it's working really nicely, and trains are running quite happily between here and Munfingford. Now, Bahecity's going to be quite intensive because we've got all these lines coming in and out. It means I can afford to run more trains. With that in mind, there are 26 trains currently running this service. There will be more added to other services as time goes by. But even now, there's 26 trains, but there's only ever one in the station at any one time. These are placeholder names, by the way, just so I can fill in the service schedule. I will change them with your suggestions. So this is Bahecity Central. I wanted to put the AA in and have it like Amsterdam because it's right next to the water, but I decided not to do that in the end. And then over here we've got Bahecity Senningbury. So that could be the theme. I mean, I'm not gonna force ideas on you. I want you guys to make the suggestions, but we could just have the stations called Bahecity and then the name of the town / city that it's right next to. So this would be Bahecity Flendingbury. This would be Bahecity Fort Dronford because that sounds a bit better than Gayhatton. Bahecity Minningbury, Bahecity Tarnley. It's just a suggestion. Don't think that's what it has to be. It doesn't. It could be anything you want it to be. Just leave your suggestions in the comments for what the themes are, and then leave your name suggestions over on the suggestions list. Anyway, there's dogs barking, which is always frustrating when I'm trying to record videos. So I'm probably going to stop the talking here, start the music if it hasn't started already. Editor Majeffries tends to... I'm not called Majeffries anymore. That's how long it's been since I recorded an episode. I've also been watching a lot of my old episodes back, particularly Cities in Motion, to get ideas for this series. I digress again. Post-production, M4J likes to mix things up from time to time, so what you see is not necessarily what you get. Just waiting for those dogs to stop barking. They probably won't now. Okay, so the music should have started. The time lapse is just about to begin, and there's not really much left for me to say other than thank you very much, guys, for watching. This time lapse will probably last till the end of the episode now, so you probably won't hear from me again until next episode, which will be, let me think, this is Monday's episode, isn't it? This is a Monday episode, so you'll see me again on Friday. So until then, guys, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the time lapse, enjoy the music, and I will see you soon.